For 40 years, Detroit engineers and every premium automaker on Earth told the world the same thing. The best suspension is the one that reacts fastest. Sample the road more times per second, that is a better ride. GM built MRC4 on this assumption. So did BMW, Porsche, and every luxury marque that charged $100,000 for a smooth highway. Reaction speed was the metric. 1,000 cycles per second was the ceiling. Every suspension R and D dollar pointed at the single number. Reaction speed is irrelevant when the road isn't a surprise. The AITO M9, built on Huawei's intelligent chassis, just proved every word of it wrong. At 70 miles per hour, its LiDAR system scans road surface 50 meters ahead and finishes adjusting its suspension dampers 1,600 milliseconds before the wheel makes contact with a pothole. Cadillac's Magnetic Ride Control 4.0. The pride of a $130,000 Escalade IQ begins its correction after the wheel hits. Both vehicles run at 1,000 Hz, but one of them already knows what's coming. The other one is still waiting. This is not just a suspension story. This is a sensor architecture story, a supply chain story, a story about whether the assumptions that built Detroit's premium market can survive contact with a technology that makes them irrelevant. To understand why this matters, you have to understand what American engineers were solving for and why their solution was correct for a very long time. In the 1980s, suspension engineering faced a fundamental physics problem. The road is chaotic. Potholes, expansion joints, highway undulations, no 2 miles of American asphalt are the same. The classical solution was mechanical. Stiffer springs absorbed, less softer springs absorbed more. And the compromise between ride comfort and handling stability was a trade-off every engineer lived with. You could not have both. Then came electronically controlled dampers. GM's Magnetic Ride Control, introduced in 2002 on the Corvette Z06, was the first system to change damper stiffness in real time using magnetorheological fluid. Squeeze electrical current through the fluid and iron particles align instantly, stiffening the damper in milliseconds. Release the current and the damper softens just as fast. By MRC4 in 2016, the system was sampling road inputs 1,000 times per second and adjusting in under 15 milliseconds. It was by every reasonable engineering standard a masterpiece of reactive technology. Road test after road test confirmed it. Consumer reports praised it. Automotive press gave it awards. The flaw was invisible because the flaw was in the premise, not the execution. Every generation of MRC4 assumed that the road would always arrive as new information. The job was to process that information faster than the human body could feel the delay. For 40 years, that was enough. Roads were unpredictable, and the best response to the unpredictable was the fastest possible reaction. But while GM was refining the speed of its answer, a different engineering culture was asking a different question entirely. Well, what if the road didn't have to be a surprise? Every reactive suspension system, no matter how fast, shares the same architectural constraint: it cannot act until it has been acted upon. The trigger for MRC4's 1,000 Hz correction cycle is physical contact. The wheel hits the road anomaly. The sensor registers the force input. The control unit fires a current pulse through the magnetorheological fluid. The damper stiffens or softens. That entire sequence from contact to correction takes 10 to 15 milliseconds. At 70 miles per hour, 15 milliseconds corresponds to 1.8 feet of travel, which means the Escalade IQ absorbs the first 1.8 feet of every pothole at the wrong damper setting, regardless of how intelligent MRC4 is, because the physics cannot be negotiated. You cannot respond before you have something to respond to. Huawei's AITO M9 eliminates this constraint at the source. Its ADS 2.0 LiDAR array does not monitor the road at the wheel. It maps the road 50 meters ahead continuously at highway speed. At 70 miles per hour, 50 meters represents 1.6 seconds of advance warning. The suspension control unit receives road geometry data, pothole depth, surface transition, type expansion, joint width, and pre-configures each of the 4 air springs and their CDC dampers to the correct stiffness profile before contact occurs. By the time the wheel arrives at the pothole, the damper has been holding its optimal setting for over a second. The practical difference on I-70 through the Colorado Rockies, where highway surface quality drops sharply through freeze-thaw cycles, an Escalade IQ running MRC4 absorbs each road anomaly and corrects mid-impact. The AITO M9 absorbs nothing it hasn't already planned for. The bump the Escalade IQ passengers feel is the 1.8 feet of uncorrected travel. For a $130,000 vehicle, those 1.8 feet are the most expensive blind spot in luxury automotive engineering. The pothole problem is the obvious demonstration, but the architectural gap runs deeper, and nowhere is it more consequential than in cornering dynamics. When a vehicle enters a highway interchange ramp, its speed weight transfers from the inside wheels to the outside wheels. The chassis begins to roll. MRC4 detects this lateral load increase through its accelerometers and stiffens the outer dampers to resist the roll. But it starts this correction after the body has already begun leaning. The system is always chasing the physics, never leading it. At 55 miles per hour on a Texas flyover ramp, with a 300-foot radius, the gap between roll onset and MRC4 correction is small enough that most drivers never notice. But it is never zero. Huawei's intelligent chassis integrates road geometry from 3 data sources simultaneously: the LiDAR surface map, the vehicle's onboard HD map, and real-time camera data reading lane markings and curvature. When the system identifies an upcoming curve 100 meters before the vehicle reaches it, it calculates the required lateral load distribution and pre-stiffens the outer air springs before the steering input occurs. The suspension is already configured for the corner when the driver turns the wheel. Roll resistance begins before roll begins. The numbers Cadillac MRC4 begins cornering correction after lateral acceleration exceeds 0.05 g at the chassis, typically 15 to 25 milliseconds after turn-in. Huawei's predictive system preloads outer spring pressure 200 to 300 milliseconds before turn entry based on road geometry. That 250 millisecond difference is the delta between a suspension that fights physics and one that anticipates it. There is a third dimension to this gap, and it may be the most strategically damaging one for Detroit. MRC4's magnetorheological fluid architecture is hardware-defined at its core. The response speed of the system is bounded by the physical properties of the fluid iron particle alignment time, electrical current propagation through the coil mechanical damper travel limits. GM has improved MRC4 incrementally across 4 generations since 2002. Better control algorithms, tighter manufacturing tolerances, lower latency electronics. But the ceiling 10 to 15 milliseconds of correction latency is a physical ceiling, not a software ceiling. No firmware update changes how fast iron particles align in a magnetic field. Huawei's system runs on a software-defined chassis architecture. The LiDAR road model, the predictive suspension algorithm, the preemptive load distribution logic, all of it is updated over the air. In 2025, Huawei pushed 3 OTA updates to AITO M9's intelligent chassis software, one expanding road surface classification to include wet asphalt pattern recognition, one refining predictive cornering accuracy on ramp geometries below 150-foot radius, and one improving pothole depth estimation from LiDAR return intensity. None of those updates required a new vehicle. None required a dealer visit. An Escalade IQ owner who bought in 2025 has MRC4 as delivered. The AITO M9 owner who bought in the same month has a suspension system that has been retrained 3 times on new road data. By the time GM releases its next suspension hardware revision, Huawei software will have had 2 more years of learning from a fleet of vehicles covering hundreds of millions of miles of road surface data that no single R&D program can replicate in a laboratory. Start with what Cadillac built correctly, because the failure is more damning when you understand the achievement. The Escalade IQ is, by any honest assessment, a remarkable engineering accomplishment. Its MRC4 system represents 22 years of iterative refinement, each generation reducing latency, improving algorithm sensitivity, and expanding the range of road surface types the system can distinguish. At $130,000, it delivers a ride quality that no American vehicle in its class has matched on a smooth highway. The magnetic damper technology works, the electronics are reliable, the integration with GM's platform architecture is tight. None of that is in dispute. What is in dispute is the premise the system was built on. MRC4's 1000 Hz sampling rate and 10 to 15 millisecond correction window are the best possible execution of a reactive architecture. But a reactive architecture optimized to its physical ceiling is still reactive. The Escalade IQ cannot tell the difference between a suspension system that has been beaten by a better reactive competitor and one that has been beaten by a competitor that doesn't react at all because it predicts. Those are different defeats and they require different responses. The Lincoln Navigator, $100,000 to $108,000, takes a different approach. Conventional air springs providing 5 ride height levels and load leveling capability paired with CCD, continuously controlled damping that adjusts on driver-selected modes rather than continuous real-time road sampling. It is a comfort-optimized system designed for highway cruising and family transport, and it performs that function well. But it operates with no per-wheel real-time correction, no forward road sensing, and no independent damper control. Against the AITO M9's architecture, the Navigator isn't competing in the same category. It is 3 technical generations behind the conversation. The Rivian R1, $78,000 to $98,000, is the most technically proximate American competitor. It runs adaptive air suspension with ride height adjustment and driver-selectable damper modes. More importantly, it uses onboard camera data to perform basic road surface recognition, a step toward the predictive model. But basic road surface recognition, in the R1S context, means detecting macro surface type smooth/gravel/off-road and adjusting a preset mode. It does not build a real-time geometric model of the road ahead. It does not calculate predicted load inputs from LiDAR point cloud data. It does not pre-configure individual damper stiffness for a specific pothole 50 meters ahead. The architecture gap between Rivian's camera-based surface detection and Huawei's LiDAR road model is the same gap as between a speedometer and a GPS navigation system. Both tell you something about the road. Only one tells you what the road is going to do. Across these 3 vehicles representing the full American premium SUV market from $78,000 to $130,000, the pattern is consistent air springs where available adaptive damping, where advanced, but always reactive, in fundamental architecture. The road is always a surprise. The suspension always waits. The correction always comes after contact. That was an acceptable engineering philosophy when no production system existed that did otherwise. It is no longer an acceptable engineering philosophy. The suspension architecture gap is an engineering story. What follows from it is an industrial one. Magnetic ride control is not manufactured by GM. The magnetorheological dampers, the fluid formulation, and the core hardware are produced by Multimatic, a Canadian-based automotive supplier, whose MRC4 production revenue is tied directly to GM's Escalade Corvette and Cadillac CT platform lineup. Multimatic does not publish segment-specific revenue, but MRC4 appears across 17 distinct GM model variants in the 2025 model year. Every model variant that migrates away from a reactive damper architecture toward a software-defined predictive system is a unit of MRC4 hardware that no longer needs to be built. The supplier risk is not theoretical. It follows directly from the architectural shift. The R&D asymmetry compounds this. GM allocates approximately $7 billion annually to total research and development across its global portfolio. Suspension hardware engineering competes for that budget against electrification, battery chemistry, autonomous systems, and manufacturing efficiency. Huawei's intelligent chassis investment is not a suspension budget. It is an autonomous driving budget. The LiDAR array, the road model processing, the sensor fusion architecture are all shared infrastructure across ADS 2.0's full capability stack. Huawei is not spending money to build a better suspension system. It is spending money to build an autonomous vehicle platform. And the suspension improvement is a downstream consequence. GM is trying to catch a target that is not standing still using a budget that is not dedicated to the race. Tariffs do not address this gap. A 100% import duty on Chinese vehicles stops the AITO M9 from crossing the border. It does not stop Huawei's suspension patents from being published. It does not prevent Korean, Japanese, or European manufacturers from licensing predictive chassis architecture. It does not stop the technology from becoming the consumer expectation baseline in global markets that GM depends on for volume markets, where the Escalade competes against vehicles that will carry this technology within 3 product cycles. Tariffs protect market access. They do not protect engineering relevance. The union dimension is the most politically sensitive layer. Every MRC4 equipped vehicle that exits GM's production line supports upstream jobs in the supplier network. Fluid chemists, damper, assembly workers, quality control, technicians at Multimatic facilities in the United States and Canada. A technology transition away from magnetorheological hardware does not eliminate those jobs immediately. It eliminates the investment rationale for expanding them. When GM's next platform architecture decision has to choose between deeper MRC4 investment and LiDAR integrated chassis software, the Huawei benchmark will be in that boardroom not as a competitor, but as the definition of what the market will expect by 2029. What happens next depends not on tariffs, but on whether American engineering culture can move faster than it has in the last 40 years. Here is the verdict. Cadillac's Magnetic Ride Control 4.0 is not a flawed system. It is a perfected system, built on a flawed premise. And perfecting the wrong premise, executing it more precisely, more quickly, more elegantly than anyone else does not make the premise right. It makes the gap harder to see until it is too late to close. Huawei's AITO M9 does not have a better suspension system than the Escalade IQ. It has a different category of suspension system, one that treats the road as known information, one that treats reaction speed as a fallback for when the road model fails, not as the primary mechanism, one that improves not through hardware replacement cycles, but through fleet-scale machine learning running on 100 million miles of real road data updated over the air, while the vehicle sits in a Michigan driveway in February. The AITO M9 is not sold in the United States. You cannot buy one in Texas or Colorado or Michigan. That geographic fact has given Detroit a window, a period during which the architecture exists. The patents are published, and the engineering gap is measurable, but no American consumer can make a direct comparison at a dealership. That window is not permanent. It is a product cycle. 2, at most 3. The question is not whether predictive suspension architecture works. The LiDAR data, the fleet miles, the OTA update record. The cornering preload numbers, those questions have been answered in production at scale on public roads. The question is whether anyone in Detroit is asking the right one. Not how do we react faster, but how do we stop reacting altogether? History does not grade on intent, it grades on output.